Hello and welcome back to another episode of FoxyNoTail's Minecraft Adventures here inside of my Bedrock Edition survival realm. And it does work. And we're in 1.7. Yay! Minecraft 1.7 is out. It's amazing. Whoa! There's nothing changed. Pretty much nothing at all to report for Minecraft 1.7. Yay me! Yay updates. But on better news, Dawn has come to the rescue with some blocks of iron, and look at all of this rubbish I've got in my inventory, an absolute ton of rubbish, because I'm I'm not recording straight after recording the last episode. It's actually been quite a little while since I recorded the last episode, but I haven't been on the game, so it's effectively since I finished building. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me. If it doesn't make sense to you, then you're just stupid. You idiot. Anyway, so in the last episode, we built this super amazing automatic kelp smelting thingamabob, and it worked okay, apart from the furnace thing, and it all backs up, as we can see up there. So I didn't bother going and fixing it. I've left it as it is because I don't have time. I got no time. I'm running out of time this week. I haven't had much time to play it on Minecraft because of lots of reasons. The main reason being because my shoulder is hurting. I've got a really bad shoulder, and I think it's from doing too much computer work. And when I play Minecraft, my shoulder hurts. And it's been getting bad for the last few weeks, so I am going to see the doctors about it tomorrow. But I need to record some episodes because the weekend is coming and I have nothing prepared. And look at all of these gems I'm just chucking on the floor. Look at all these gems I'm just chucking on the floor all over the place. I'm not even picking them up because my inventory is full. Oh man, they're all going to despawn. What a waste. What a waste of gold. What a waste of emeralds. What a waste of diamonds. FoxyNoTail, you've lost the plot. You've gone crazy. I know. You tell me about it. Right, let's get rid of them and swap it for a bit of gold. Let's get rid of them and swap them for some emeralds. And let's get rid of some doors and get some diamonds. There we go. Oh, just in time. That was a close one. Whew. Also, in the news of FoxyNoTail's Minecraft Adventures and my Bedrock Realm, we've had 3 new patrons this week. That's right, 3 new patrons just this week. That's absolutely crazy. So big shout out to all of those guys for joining. That's very nice. And they should be starting to be building in the world. So hopefully we'll get everyone on here will be a little bit more active again, which will be very, very nice. I'm looking forward to seeing them. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to be building. And yeah, it's just nice to have some fresh faces around. Not that I've actually bumped into them yet. And as usual, I am the only one on the realm. So no lag. Hurrah! Oh, Dorsal, you didn't give me enough. I've completely run out now. Oh, it's not fair. You never gave me enough iron. Oh man, come off it. 4 blocks. I've used all of those blocks again and I'm 4 short. That is not fair. That is not fair. I'm sure I can find 4 more blocks of something in my chest. Anyway, I was just saying about silent. Yeah, in the last episode, or one of my episodes, I recently mentioned the fact that it was impossible to make a decent gold farm on the Bedrock Edition of Minecraft. And then everybody, literally everybody, decided to comment and tell me about Silent Whisper's gold farm design, as if I'd never heard of it and I'd never seen it. And I know, I've seen Silent Whisper's gold farm design, and if you don't know which one they're talking about, it's the one with the massive obsidian portals where pigmen spawn on the portals. And it's a nice design, but in my opinion, it's not suitable for Minecraft. It's not suitable for survival Minecraft, I should say. I bet if you had 2 people playing Minecraft, one was in a mesa with an efficiency 5 pickaxe and haste 2, and the other one was, well, they can have efficiency 5 and haste 2 as well, and just getting all the obsidian and tools and setting up that farm and making it all work. I bet by the time that person had done one night of AFKing at it, the person that had been in the mesa just mining will have loads more gold, because it's so easy to get gold in the mesa. You don't need a farm that takes you 4 years to build. You just don't need it. So in my opinion, it's not a survival farm. So there. Anyway, Right, so what are we doing today? Today, we are going to be building, in this plot here, we're going to be building yet another farm. And today's farm is going to be, just because I got a comment asking me for one, a cocoa bean farm. Hurrah! And it is going to go in this one chunk, but it's not going to be a big farm. Oh, no, 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 no. It's going to be small, like the one I'm going to show you now. And here I am in my ideas world, and behind me you'll see a big wall of jungle wood, and the design that we're going to be doing has nothing to do with any of that. That is complete waste of time. It's completely pointless. What we are going to be doing is one of these ones here with the sign on it. This one. This little tiny thing here is an AFK-able cocoa bean farm that I came up with just today. And it started off, if we go through all of the things that I've built today, this area here, all of this stuff, as far as the eye can see, apart from that big thing over there, I've been building this today, testing out different clocks and different designs, and this is what I started off with. So this is where I started. This was a little farm where you would just stand here and then you would just click on that block, you would hold the click button down, and eventually it will grow and it will spit out into the hopper and you'll get loads of cocoa beans. And that works really nicely. It works well. It doesn't take up much room. It's relatively quick. And yeah, it does the job. And if you look inside this chest, you can see we've got some stuff in there. So it was okay. It's not too bad. It doesn't take up much room at all, but it's not very pretty. And I thought I could do better. So where do we go after that then? We went to, I believe, this one here. So if we flick that one off there, it's the same sort of thing, but it's, well, I say it's more compact. It's not even more compact, is it? But you might notice as I'm standing there, can you see there's a dispenser right in front of me here? That's going to give me back cocoa beans. So as I stand here pressing that, or clicking on it, I'm never going to run out of cocoa beans. So let's just go into survival so I can show you how this works. So what I do is if I grab some cocoa beans and completely fill up my inventory like so, and I put some cocoa beans there, the idea is that I stand against this dispenser here. That's going to keep giving me cocoa beans back because they're going to fall into that hopper there. They're going to go into there. It's going to spit them out. Some of them are going to go in that hopper there. Some of them are going to go into the chest and some will come into my inventory. So I should be able to just turn this off, hold down the place button, and it should keep replenishing my cocoa beans in my inventory. Now, I can tell that it's firing them out. Can you see the cocoa beans are coming out? But I'm not picking them up because this hopper is getting them too quickly. So there's a bit of a problem there. So that's the idea, and it was relatively compact, although there's quite a lot of pistons and things going on, but this was my first try, and it didn't really work out. So I went off and I tried lots of different things. So I tried this one over here, and I tried lots more, and eventually I came up with this design. It was just a similar sort of thing, but this time the hopper actually gets blocked off so that the cocoa beans will go into this chest, then they'll flow through these hoppers and they'll come back round and they'll keep looping around this section here, and this hopper here will get locked so it can't pick them up. So it won't be fully locked all of the time, but you can see it's already full, look, because it gets locked quite regularly. So if we turn this one on, I flick that lever there. It also runs a lot faster because it's got double the dispensers, and I hold that down there. You can see it's always growing instantly, going into the dispenser, and can you see in my inventory, I'm getting more in my inventory than I started with. So that chest will fill up, the dispensers will fill up, and my inventory will fill up before it runs out completely. Now, I think the bone meal will probably run out before that happens, but this thing gives us absolutely tons of cocoa beans very, very quickly. You can't really see it for the mess of the green from where the bone meal's hitting it, but for a micro farm, this is the fastest one I could come up with, and all you've got to do is hold down the place button. So if you're using a controller, you could just tape it down. If you're using a keyboard, you can use an auto clicker, or you could just hold the button down. And if you're using a touch screen, well, I don't know. I'm sure you'll find a way of doing that. So you could AFK at this thing. So yeah, this is the one I'm going to build. I think it works really well. The only thing I don't like about it is the off button's all the way down there. But other than that, it's pretty compact. It's 6 deep, 3 wide, and 4 high if you include the chest and the top bit. It's very small, very compact, and it gives us absolutely tons of cocoa beans. You can see these are all filling up nicely, so it'll back up all the way through that hopper, into that chest, and yeah, basically we'll have tons and tons of cocoa beans. And what I could do if this chest isn't going to be enough for an overnight AFK session, I could actually change that for a chest as well. That doesn't need to be a block that's there. Before we go off and start building this thing into my actual survival realm, I just want to go through a few of these clock designs that I came up with for building this. And these aren't unique designs. They're not my own designs. These are some I've created myself, some I've found online, and some are just fairly standard ones. But when I started building these all the way over there, I started off with observer clocks, which if you don't know how an observer clock works, it's basically if you face two observers into each other like so, and you grab a little bit of redstone dust on one side, you've got a clock. And they are really good and they're really quick, but unfortunately, they're not reliable. They're not reliable at all. And I was having some really strange problems with the timing. So let's come over to this one here, and I've actually moved this observer out of the way. If I put that observer back, can you see this flashes like that? And that repeater there doesn't flash, and I know what you're thinking, it's on 3 ticks, so it won't. If I put it on 1 tick, it flashes. If I put it on 2 ticks, it does occasionally, but it does skip a beat every now and then. And if I put it on 3, it doesn't. And you might be thinking, well, fair enough, it just doesn't work if you put it on 3. Well, that's interesting because over on one of these other ones, it works perfectly well. I think it's this one here. Do the same thing again. On one of these, I had it working relatively well on 3 ticks on that repeater there. And it was relatively consistent, but it's not consistent enough. If you want to use one of these clocks and you want to use some redstone timing, some pistons and things like that, on the Bedrock edition of the game, it's just really unreliable. It's not a reliable circuit to use. It just occasionally misses one, occasionally skips a beat, and I think it's to do with the observer timings. I think observers have a few problems in the current editions of Bedrock. So we came away from this design, and I thought, what other designs can I use that are going to be reliable? So this is the obvious one, which is basically just a dispenser clock, and that will make the clock go round like that. And if you actually wire it up to the dispenser will fire out. But again, it's not very quick. This one's similar sort of thing, which just has a comparator clock with a inverted signal, which isn't particularly quick. This one's a hopper clock, which if you put something in, it will just go from side to side again. Reliable, but not very quick. And then we've got things like this, which is insane. If I flick that one off, there we go. This will actually spit stuff out really quickly, but you can see it's already turned off. It's not very reliable. And then we've got ones like this. If I put some stuff in there, they'll come out relatively quickly, but it's not ever so fast. It's not the fastest machine ever. This one is nice and fast. I do like this machine, but it's not very reliable because it relies on redstone torches, not creating an infinite loop, and they do. So my favourite one is probably either this one or this type of thing, because they're relatively quick and pretty reliable. But they take up quite a lot of room. So I thought, how can I do it where they don't take up a lot of room? And then I came up with this, and I've not seen this anywhere else. And this is basically, if I turn that off there, it's just a little clock that uses a sticky piston and a redstone block and 2 pieces of redstone. And I thought, well, that's good. And then I thought, what about if I did it vertically? Then I only need, well, I don't need as much room. It's just 1 piece of redstone dust, a sticky piston, and a redstone block. So this is the clock I've ended up using in the circuit, and it's actually really reliable. Even on realms, this Ideas World now is actually on a realm. We're on a realm right now, and that's really reliable. Considering I've got all this other redstone stuff going on, it's actually a really reliable little clock. Realm, there are a couple of people logged on. We've got a Valhalla and a Jack Pro Keen, and Valhalla is probably on actually building a cocoa bean farm because he had a design that I really liked. Ah, he is. He's down there. Look, he's in my he's in my base, building one as we speak. So I want to see his one before I build mine because his was pretty good. So he's using an observer clock, which aren't very good in my opinion. But let's see how we get on with those anyway. It might work in this particular circumstance. It looks like Val's having a few issues with the timings, and I think it's come down to the observer clocks. I think the observer issues are causing a few issues with this as well. You just can't get the timings right now. I don't know whether they've changed the timings on it or just made them more unreliable or what. So he's going to go for a hopper clock idea, which is going to be a bit slow, to be honest. So I don't think this design... It's a nice design. It's nice and simple. But I don't think it's going to be ever so great because he's not going to fire the bone meal quick enough. Well, it looks like it's doing the job, but to me, those cocoa beans don't look like they're fully growing. Now, it might be just because of the lag on the realm or the slight bit of lag that they are fully growing, but it doesn't look like they are to me. So I don't know whether the Val's getting the full amount back or not. Let's find out. I've got 4. Let's see if I get any more than 4 doing this. No, I don't get any more than I started with. Okay, so Val's fixed it, and basically what he's done is he's added a second dispenser, which is effectively what I've done on the one I've built. So As much as this is a pretty small design, there's no hopper or chest system. You've got to literally stand here and catch it, which means it is technically AFK. There's no bulk storage for the bone meal or anything like that, so it's not going to last a very long time. But it is nice and small. It's very compact, and this is Val's design, and I do like it. But yeah, we're going to build mine. We're going to go ahead with mine. It's like somebody doesn't want me to play Minecraft at the minute. Well, can go wrong, does go wrong. I'm finding like slime noises and things like that. They're just really annoying, and especially when you can't find them, it's just really frustrating. And I don't want to be playing Minecraft for hours. I don't have hours to record this video. My shoulder's absolutely killing me. Oh, it's there. How did you even get there? That's impossible. Go away. Of all the places in the world they can spawn, they spawn on here? Oh man, don't tell me I'm going to have to slab all of this out now as well. So this design is 3 wide, which isn't really good for our chunk because we've got a 1 wide centre. So we're going to have to do this thing slightly off centre. So I might make it a 4 wide system and then have one side of it with an extended storage section, maybe? Something like that. I'll see what I can do anyway. Already stealing some of the iron from my beacon because I've run out of iron. I'm actually regretting taking the floor out a little bit now. I know I do that on all of these builds, but I don't think I actually needed to do it for this one, which is a little bit frustrating, but not to worry. So I might actually build back a little bit of the floor. So let's find the middle of this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, then we've got a little bit of an area to work on. So let's figure out how we're going to build this thing. So if we say the middle on that side, I don't know the best way of doing this. I've built the whole thing off. I wanted it in the center-ish, but I was going to expand the storage out this way. So I've actually built it off the wrong way. So I'm going to have to build it again now. I'm going to have to destroy it all and start again. But at least I know how to do it. At least we can do it fairly quickly. But yeah, I'm going to smash it all to bits and start again. Oh well, not to worry. This time I'm going to do the entire floor out of sea lanterns like that. And that will give us a lot more brightness from the start. Now, there's my jungle wood still up there and a bit of redstone. Now we need to make sure we build it the right side. So we'll start here and we'll start with a dropper there and a dropper on top of it facing that way. And then we want some hoppers. We want one going into there like that and one there. And on that one we have a chest. And in the back of the chest we have another hopper going up like that. On this side we have a piece of concrete going there with some redstone on the top. And we have a repeater going into that just on the standard ticks. Then we can get rid of this sea lantern here and put a sticky piston there, and when we need a redstone block on top of that sticky piston like so. Then we want a piece of redstone dust there, and that is going to work good. I didn't know if that would work or not with it being on a sea lantern, but it does. And then we want a repeater there, I think on 2 ticks, and a white concrete block there. I'm going to use the lever on that redstone dust there and turn that off. And then I want a block there and a repeater there, I believe, on 2 ticks. Then we want a block there, a block there, a block there, a block there, and all the way round to the other side. But instead of a block there, we're going to have an observer there, like that. And we're going to put redstone dust around in a loop like that. Then we need our dispensers. We have a dispenser there facing into that way, a dispenser there facing in that way. And then in this little hole here, we have our sticky piston with our jungle wood on top, like that. Then we need our other 2 hoppers, one there and one there, like that, with some chests on top, like that and like that. And then we can get our sea lantern and we can put it back on top of this whole thing just there. Now I need to get rid of the one at the back because that's going to get pushed up by the jungle wood. And that is pretty much the entire thing built again. Let's just turn it off and make sure that works. Yes, it's all working nicely. That's very good. All doing as it should. Nice. Good. Now I'm going to fill it up with bone meal because I just happen to have in one of these boxes absolutely tons of bone blocks. So let's do that. Let's fill it up with bone meal. And there are cocoa bean farm designs that don't require bone meal. If bone meal is something that you're short of, you can build them, but it just means that you've got to replant the cocoa beans every time you run the farm, which takes ages. So this is much quicker because you can just AFK at it, and it doesn't take up hardly as many resources to start with either. Well, that is both sides completely full of bone meal, so that's good. We've got loads of bone meal in here now, so if I was to get some cocoa beans, which I also think I've got in that little chest over here. Oh, I can't get out. Why did I put the block one block back? That's so annoying. Right, where did I put the cocoa beans? They're in here somewhere. There we go. We've got 51 cocoa beans. So if I come over here like this and I flick this thing on, it will fire, but you won't actually use any bone meal until I actually start planting the cocoa beans. So it is good. So I just put myself right against the chest here. I hold down the button like that. You'll see the cocoa beans fully grow before they get broken. And all of the cocoa beans go into that chest. They cycle round. I get it back in my inventory. And then it will fill up the hoppers as well. So that's working. That's working really, really nicely. It's nice and quick. It's doing a good job. And yeah, we can start working on making this thing look pretty now. So the thing I want to do now, because it's off center, is I wanted to use this side for extra storage. And the only thing I really think I could do is pop another chest there and make that into a double chest, which is fine, which means we're doubling the amount of storage. But really, I want that to link to more chests down this side. But I can't do that because that repeater's in the way. So I don't know how I would do that. I need a way of doing it, but I can't. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to decorate this thing, but I don't know how we're going to decorate it. I don't know what to do. It's so small in the entire chunk. It's kind of just on its own. What I do want to do is redirect this lever because I don't want it there. So what I'm going to do is go underneath. So let's just break that. And let's see how we're going to do this. I need to just basically lock off that piston, which isn't a difficult thing to do, but from underneath it might be a bit more tricky. So if I put a block underneath that piston there like that, and then turn that piston off or on, yeah, that does work. Good. Okay. There we go. That's better. I've got the lever on that side now, so we can turn the thing off and on from there, which makes it a little bit more symmetrical, which I like. Right. I've filled up my inventory with cocoa beans. I've got 10 in the first slot. This thing is completely empty. There's nothing in it apart from the bone meal, which is great. I'm going to stand here. I'm going to flick that switch. I'm going to move against that chest, and I'm going to hold... Oh, I pressed the wrong one. Okay, so let's flick this on, and I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. There we go. That was exactly a minute. So let's empty this thing out. Let's see how much we got. Is there anything in the chest? No. Let's check these hoppers are both empty. They are. What about in there? There's 1 in there, and we've got 11 in there. So we got 88 cocoa beans in 1 minute, which works out at about 5,280 cocoa beans in 1 hour, which isn't bad. That's pretty good going, really. I thought it would be slightly faster than that, but I don't know if it's lag or what that's slowing it down. So I'm going to do it again and see if we get a different result. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. So there we go. That's been exactly a minute again. Let's empty it out. I think we did a little bit better that time. I'm assuming that's probably because maybe... Yeah, it must be affected by the lag a little bit. What did we get this time? We got 105 this time. So that works out about 6,300 a minute, so that's good. So on average, it works out about 5,500 cocoa beans per hour, this thing, if you were to AFK at it, which isn't very bad at all, really, for a little nano farm like that. And it's an AFK-able one, which is very, very nice. Well, this does not look good at the moment, does it? Yeah, I'm going to need to rethink this. I really don't know what to do in terms of the design for this because, yeah, it doesn't need to be any bigger. And I was thinking about this. We don't actually need any more storage. I can't imagine we're going to AFK at this for long enough for that double chest to fill up, and I'm pretty sure the bone meal will probably run out before then anyway. Having said that, we've not used too much. I could make it look like a jungle. I could plant some dirt and some podzol. I've got loads of podzol. Yeah, I know, but I know you don't get podzol in the jungle. We'll put some podzol down on the floor, put some jungle trees up, and then we'll just build like a jungly, leafy wall around it. Now that is a good idea, but we're going to need loads of jungle wood for that. So I'm going to do that. Yay, I've got a plan at last. Hurrah! That didn't take long, did it? So I reckon, looking in here, I should have a box which is full of podzol. Yes, I do. And hopefully I've got one that's full of jungle wood. Yes, I do. That's very handy. Now I just need some leaves. Leaves would be good. Oh, And we could get some andesite and stuff and mossy cobblestone and make one of those like little jungle temple-y things in there, maybe? I don't know if that's possible. But have I got anything like that? I've got a bit of mossy cobblestone. Have I got any vines? Vines would be useful. No, I don't have any vines. I do have a vine farm though, don't I? Or did I get rid of it? I can't remember. Let's see if I've got some shears and let's go. Oh, not many. Not very many shears. Let's go see if I've got any vines at my vine farm. Oh, I do still have a vine farm. That's good then. I haven't got rid of it. I don't know why I thought I got rid of it. I just don't. I haven't used it in so long. But it's all nicely grown. And the way this works is you start at the bottom and you work your way up. If you start further up, you break the vines and the bottom ones just disappear. So you need to, do it from each layer like this. Now I'm down to my last set of broken shears. I've nearly finished getting it all though. Just about there. Will I get all the way to the end? Yay, I did. And look at all these vines. Absolutely tons and tons and tons of vines, which is very nice, and it's ready to start growing again. And that was, look at that. Over 3 stacks of vines from that little thing. That is pretty good going. So let's go fly a kite. No, not let's go fly a kite. Let's go make some mossy stuff. Leaves. Leaves would be really useful. I've got loads of oak leaves, but don't have many jungle leaves. Well, we'll use oak leaves then. It doesn't really matter. They don't have to be jungle leaves. It's just leaves. We're just making it look jungle-y. It doesn't have to be exactly right. We can use our imaginations. Yay, imagination. Oh, man. You are the world's worst Minecrafter, FoxyNoTail. There we go. Very nice. You're expert builder, FoxyNoTail. I know. I know I am the best in the world. I'm even better than Scar. No, you're not that good. I am. No, you're not as good as him. I am really good. No. Oh, please. No, not even a bit close to that. You're like not even in the same league. So almost like Scar, but not quite, is what you're saying. No, it's not what I'm saying at all. You're not even a bit close to Scar. Like, he's like the expert in the world, and you're rubbish. Oh, thanks. There we go. That's the ceiling completely filled in, and now I am stuck. Completely stuck. And there's a block here that doesn't need to be there. Let's get rid of that. But yes, I can no longer get out, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to spend the rest of my life in this hole. Only kidding. Of course, I can poke a little hole out just like that and clamber my way out of here. Just like this. There we go. And what a lovely, messy, podzoli thing this is, now that it's all done. It looks gross, doesn't it? And I think around here, we should have... Oh, I'm tempted to have the leaves around the outside of the... Oh, I've fallen back in again. Yeah, around the outside of this, just so we can see it a bit more, what's going on. I don't know if that would be interesting or not. So, me old mucker, if we put some lamps down here like this, and then we put some of the old leafy things on top of those... That might look nice, or it might look really rubbish. I don't know, but I'm thinking that this is a good way to get light in here. I know you'll be able to see the sea lanterns underneath. That's fine. It doesn't matter. But, whoa, I thought I was going to fall down that hole then to my certain doom. All those 2 blocks down there, but I don't think I am. Yeah, that kind of looks really weird, but it'll do. And I'm tempted to change out the white concrete out of this build now because it doesn't really fit. But we'll worry about that later. First thing I want to do is get the sides of this place in, which is going to be pretty much jungle wood. Oh, we can have a canopy at the top. Yeah, instead of having jungle wood at the top, we'll just put some sea lanterns above and then leaves. And then it'll look like we can see through the leaves to the sky. That'll be nice. Oh, that'll be lovely, FoxyNoTail. That's a really good idea. Thank you. Thank you very much for your kind words and support. It means a lot. You're welcome. Okay then, so what I've done is I've put the jungle wood all the way around the outside, and yes, I know it looks very plain and boring at the moment, but it won't for long, and you can see I've done the sort of top old jiggity-jaggedy, and that is a real word. It's not one I've just made up now to explain this at all. It's definitely real. Look it up in the dictionary, jiggity-jaggedy. That's the new word of the day. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put leaves all around over the top of it. Obviously, I shouldn't really come on the outside of this because it's supposed to be technically one chunk, but I quite like the idea of it just sticking out a little bit, and then I'm going to make my way across the middle as well, and then put sea lanterns on the top. That's the plan, and then inside it's going to look pretty cool. Then we can put all the stone brick and stuff around it and some vines and things like that, and hopefully it'll look really, 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 really sort of average. I'm going to need a lot more leaves. I have completely run out of leaves. I've got 1 left. That's it, gone. So I'm going to have to go get a load more leaves. And I know it's very flat looking at the moment. This is the top canopy that's going to have the lighting on it, just so nothing spawns up here, apart from slimes, apparently. Naked trees, does whatever a naked tree does. Can he swing from a rope? No, because it's a tree. You know how we don't have the F3 screen in the Bedrock Edition of Minecraft, but you can get that in Java. So it tells you lots of things that are really useful, but mainly I think the most useful thing is it tells you what biome you're in. Now, what if in Bedrock Edition, instead of having that, they had like just a common sapling that, depending on what biome you planted it would grow into a different type of tree? Does that sound like something that would be good, so you could tell what biome you were in by planting a tree and growing it, or planting something and growing it, and if depending on what type of plant or tree it grew into would tell you what biome you're in? I think that would be pretty cool. I saw a tweet from on Twitter, believe it or not, by Exuma, saying that he's been doing all these testing things on Bedrock and he's really frustrated with how limiting Bedrock is in, for instance, not having the F3 screen. And I know the F3 screen's been around in Java for so long that people have sort of just got used to the idea of using it, but it's not really a survival tool. It's a bit of a cheat, really, if you think about it. The F3 screen tells you like information that you shouldn't be able to tell. If you were playing the game in a survival way, that sort of information should be hidden from you. So I think, personally, as much as I use the F3 screen loads when I'm playing survival Minecraft on Java Edition, it is a bit of a cheat. And playing on the Bedrock Edition of the game really does give you an appreciation for actually figuring stuff out and having to do it blind, if you like. So I think this is really more of how the game should be played if you're sort of serious about playing it in a survival way, because it is useful knowing what biome you're in. And I know you can go, well, this looks like a plains biome, or this has got jungle trees in it, so it must be a jungle, or this is a desert. But things like rivers and beaches and the edges and stuff like that would be really useful for when you're building your farms. So yeah, that's just my little thoughts, little ideas I have that probably won't get noticed or seen by anyone. But if you like my ideas, if you think they're good ideas, let me know in the comments. And if I get enough people telling me they like my ideas, I'll pass them on to the developers and see what they say. And they'll probably say, go away, FoxyNoTail, you message us far too often, you're getting on our nerves, we're going to block you from messaging us anymore. And which I wouldn't blame them for, because I do spend a lot of time. They talk to me back, though. It's not like I'm just talking to them and they're ignoring me. I do discuss quite a few things with the developers. Now, these vines over time are just going to grow around the entire thing, so I'm going to have to put some string around and stop them growing, because I don't want them to completely take over the inside of this. I do want it to be relatively random. But for now, let's just get these the rest of these top layer of leaves on, and then we can start working on the underneath layers, which is going to be difficult. It would be handy if we had the scaffolding in the game, which we don't, because obviously we're not in the beta version of the game. So we're going to have to wait for the scaffolding, but I believe it is coming. I think scaffolding is one of the things coming before the end of the year. And like with the AQUATIC update, Bedrock are getting 2 updates, or the update's going to be in 2 phases, whereas on Java Edition, the updates, everything's going to come later in the year. And the reason they do that, and people disagree with me on this, but the reason they split the updates and give us an early preview on Bedrock Edition is nothing to do with like logistics or anything like that. It is to try and draw people away from Java Edition onto Bedrock Edition so that they can unify the game. As soon as there's the right percentage of people playing Bedrock and no one on Java, they will go, right, we're not developing Java anymore. I guarantee it, because they already said that there's hardly any player base left on Java Edition. And if you buy the Java Edition, you get the Windows 10 version free. They're all incentives to get people to move away from the Bedrock Edition and from the Java Edition and to the Bedrock Edition. So as soon as people start realizing that, I think that the better, because people go, no, they're not doing that. They're definitely not doing that. They don't want people to move away from Java. They absolutely do. Why would they want to be developing 2 completely separate versions? They want the whole thing unified so that only people are playing the same version. That will make their lives much easier with development. It will stop people complaining about the fact that this thing doesn't work in Java Edition or this thing doesn't work in Bedrock Edition. It would make the developers' lives much, much easier. And I guarantee, might not happen today or tomorrow or even next year, but that's where they're heading. When we look back in 5 years' time at Minecraft, we'll be going, oh, do you remember Java Edition? That was good, wasn't it? And people will still be playing it. They'll be playing whatever version it ended on with whatever mods that they've got. But most people will be playing Bedrock Edition because Bedrock Edition is advancing and it's becoming more and more like the Java Edition. And it will get to a point where people that play the Java Edition will go, actually, Bedrock's a pretty good alternative to the Java Edition. And anyway, I'm rambling, so shut up now. This is just my opinion, but based on everything I've seen, read, and heard, that's what I think. That's where I think we're heading. Well, I definitely think it's starting to come together. I'm going a bit crazy actually placing these leaves, and I've actually just put those right in front of my face. I didn't want those ones there. Thank you very much for trying to get into that corner at the back. And I have just about run out of leaves now, actually. So, but all I'm doing is basically just spamming them down and trying to make it look as organic and sort of overgrown as possible. And you can see I've got just over a stack left, so I've nearly used all of the leaves now, which is good. That's why we got them. We don't need them for anything else, so that's fine. Oh, and I've fallen down the middle. And you can see the lights above, which I think just gives a hint of daytime. So if we take a step back, I know we've got all this scaffolding in the way. I think that looks pretty good. And I think with a few vines hanging down from this, that's going to look pretty awesome. So I'm going to get rid of this scaffolding now, and then I'm going to try very hard to chuck a load of vines around the place and get them up in there. You can see I've already added some vines on the leaves at the top, but I want more down, obviously, round the sides and things now. And again, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to spam these around. These will start growing completely erratically, which is fine, but we will have to come back and trim them and sort them out with the string later on so that they're not completely wild, because we don't want vines absolutely everywhere. Right, I haven't added too much in here. I've added a little bit of the grass that I got when I was getting the leaves. I've added some vines, and I've added some of these little sort of rocky patches around, and I think that's starting to look really good. I really like the look of that. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to spam too much else in here, but what I do want to do is I just want to make this thing in the middle look a little bit more almost jungle temple-y, but without being too much. I like the fact that it's open like this. I tell you what, I've only replaced a couple of blocks, but doesn't that make a big difference? Just taking out that white concrete and adding some of the other stuff in there, I think that makes it look massively, massively different. It still does exactly the same thing, but it's just the white concrete's gone and we've got these other things in there. And I think that, yeah, that made such a difference. That's kind of okay. I'm not sure about this big sea lantern just stuck at the top though, but I don't really know what else I could do with that. I quite like that. I think that looks pretty good. So as you come in here, you stand there, you flick this thing on and you spam your cocoa beans against the side there. I suppose what we could have is a little chest just in here with some actual cocoa beans in it, just in case you turn up and you haven't got any. So if we put a chest down somewhere like that, and then grab some of our cocoa beans, which we've got in here like that, and stick those in that chest, I think that would be good. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. I didn't expect the room to look anything like this. I really didn't. I know it doesn't look like a jungle temple in the middle, but it doesn't need to. I think that looks absolutely fine like that. Apart from this sea lantern, perhaps if I surrounded it with stairs... Oh, I can't get up there now, can I? Because it's got wall. Let's just put that bit of wall there. What if I surround this with stairs? Yeah, that looks a little bit better like that, but it's still not great. And the only thing I do want to do now is add some more leaves to it, but I've run out of leaves. I was just going to spam this thing with a load of leaves, but I'm not going to bother. I think that's absolutely fine. It works well. We've got the stuff that we need in there. The only thing I can't do is I can't actually get to the dispenser underneath that one now, and that one actually has quite a bit of the stuff in there. Can I get round to it from this side? No. Oh well, that doesn't matter. I've seen one of my boxes as I was tidying up, and I've just added those round to the back like that, and I think they kind of do fit, but I don't know if I'm, sort of adding too much in here. I haven't added any vines to those though, so let's just do that, because the vines do add a little bit of decoration, or just a little bit of difference to the leaves that I really do think make them stand out a bit more. Yeah, that's pretty good. That doesn't look too bad at all. I'm quite happy with that. I don't want to go completely crazy, which I think I am doing at the moment. I think that's all good enough. So, what I would like to say on that note is, I know today I haven't done a base tour. I am sorry about that, but I'm a little bit short of time today. I've got lots of other things going on, so I don't really want to get bogged down with too many things. So, yeah, I've achieved more than I thought I would do today, to be honest. So, I would like to say, as usual, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!